Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Law-Splaining the Interwebs. I'm your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. And today, I'm coming to talk to you about something very, very important that's going on in our government right now and actually kind of flew under my radar. On November 20th of 2020, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency has put forth a recommendation for a rule change, and they're asking for public comment on this rule change. Now, the public comment period actually ends on January 4th, with the rule change expected to take place shortly thereafter. It seems like before Trump would be potentially out of office, assuming Joe Biden takes the presidency and is inaugurated as president. Okay, so this is talking about moving very, very quickly. And the rule change itself is to actually codify a long-standing recommendation from the office that is that purveyors of access to banking services, national banks and smaller banks in particular, must provide equal quantitative risk-based access to banking services, to credit services, and that is huge, huge news. Now, let me go ahead and break down what that actually means. That means that if a person or a business is looking for access to the banking system, then what the banking industry or the particular bank needs to do is an individual quantitative risk-based assessment. Like, do they have an acceptable credit score? And that's basically it. I mean, there's more to risk management than just credit score. That's just one of the things that most people are familiar with. So that's what they want them to do. What they've actually been doing is quite a bit different from that. What they've actually been doing is taking entire industries and deciding that they are not manageable in some way, and industries that you may be familiar with, like the gun industry or the adult entertainment industry, have received the brunt end of this treatment. Whether or not the individual companies or the individuals involved in these industries are creditworthy, are acceptable risk tolerances for banking services to engage in a banking relationship with them, it doesn't matter, because they have put basically a blacklist on some of these industries. Beyond that, beyond the industry-wide bans or the industry-wide, we'll say, shunning of certain groups, products, people, stuff like that, we have individuals being removed for various reasons, social and political or moral reasons being kind of paramount to these sort of concerns. And I'm actually speaking these words right now, which is surprising me, but don't take my word for it. This is from the actual Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. I've got their document pulled up. This is a long and thick document, but check out this section here. It is our understanding that some banks have taken these actions based on criteria unrelated to safe and sound banking practices, including 1, personal beliefs and opinions on matters of substantive policy that are more appropriately the purview of state and federal legislatures. 2, assessments ungrounded in quantitative risk-based analysis. And 3, assessments premised on assumptions about future legal or political changes. In some cases, banks appear to have denied persons access to financial services without even attempting to price the financial services to reflect the perceived risk, particularly in light of the now discredited Operation Choke Point, in which certain government agencies, but not the Office of the Comptroller of Currency, were revealed to have pressured banks to cut off access to financial services to disfavored but not unlawful sectors of the economy. The OCC believes these criteria are not and cannot serve as a legitimate basis for refusing to grant a person or entity access to financial services. Bank actions based on these criteria are inconsistent with a bank's legal responsibility to provide fair access to financial services. Again, this is massive. Up here, they list some of the industries. Some banks have reportedly ceased to provide financial services to owners of privately owned correctional facilities that operate under contracts with federal governments and various state governments. Makers of shotguns and hunting rifles have reportedly been debanked in recent years. Independent non-bank ATM machines that provide access to cash settlement and other operational accounts, particularly in low-income communities and thinly populated rural areas, have been affected. This is exactly what the problem has been lately on the political side, in regards to commentary, in regards to creating viable alternatives to things like YouTube, to Twitter, to Facebook, is that banks have been engaged in policing morality, policing politics, and policing social acceptability based on their own standards. But that's not the job of a bank or a credit card company. And while they do have the right of free association, they actually, for the protections provided to these companies, including the idea that many of them will get bailed out, and for the fact that they are insured by the federal government against loss, part of that sacrifice is that they have to be publicly accessible access points for individuals and businesses to confidently go and be individually based, not on the social or moral acceptability or political palatability of their company, but on whether or not they can pay for the services that they're requesting. That's it. That's the question. Are these acceptable risks for a financial institution? If they are manageable, acceptable risks, then they should be given access to the financial institutions that everybody has access to. And it shouldn't be cut off for social, moral, or political reasons, because that's not what the banking system is geared up to do. It's not what they're good at doing. It's not what they're designed to do in any sort of way. So this is huge news, and I am going to provide a link in the description below that will take you to the page where you can provide a public comment to this. I will be providing one as well, and when I do it, I will go ahead and make a post so that everybody can see the language that I am using in my public comment about this. But you can go right now and actually have a direct say in your government. If you think this rule is good, as I do, then you can go and let them know that banks have no place policing politics, social acceptability, or morality. Banks have the job of providing people reasonable and risk-averse access to the banking system, and that's it. Full stop. Banks get tons of protections from the U.S. government. They're insured by your tax dollars, and right now, they have been able to flaunt the OCC's guidance, because it was guidance before. They've been able to flaunt this guidance for a decade now and merely deny anybody access, including whole industries. The adult entertainment industry has been struggling with this over the past several years, as many adult entertainment websites have had trouble procuring finance or having access to payment processors. As you know, we recently discussed a large network of adult entertainment websites, actually one of the largest in the United States, just had its banking services effectively terminated over purported unlawful activity of other people on their platforms, not unlawful activity of the service itself. And that kind of looks like a pretext for the moral policing of the industry rather than of this particular company's bad actions. And that is, again, critically important that we get this rule and other rules like this to ensure that you, that I, that everybody we know has fair and equal access to banking, not fair access to banking so long as you have the right political, moral, or social opinions. So Go check out the link in the description. If you feel so compelled to leave a public comment, please do. If you like this type of content, the short legal news type stuff, hit like, hit subscribe, share it with your friends. Let them know. If you know anybody who's been talking about this subject, let them know. There's a rule change. It's short window. November 20th to January 4th has been the public comment. Nobody's really reporting on this until today. I saw a headline about it, and that's all I've seen. But this has been out there for almost a month, and this is a critical issue that people are becoming more and more aware of. And guess what? They're trying to address it. They're trying to address it. So let's help them do that. All right. Hit that link in the description. Go speak your mind to the government. Do it in a respectful and professional way if you can manage that. But this is your opportunity to be a voice in a government issue that you may care about. I know I do. So again, I'll be participating. But again, like, share, subscribe, hit the little notification bell, and we'll see you very soon. Have a good day. Peace. Peace.